president of the Syrian Interim government, Abdurranman Mustafa, he assessed the developments in Syria for a harbor and made very important statements. Mustafa clearly explained the goals of the opposition in Syria and stated that Turkey is the country making the most effort for the war in Syria to end. He said the only solution is political negotiation.
The legitimate opposition of Syria is the Syrian Interim government. Today, the Syrian Interim government is the one engaging with international counterparts. Therefore, our first priority is for there to be a civil administration from the people of Aleppo. Aleppo, as you know, is a city composed of many ethnic and religious groups. Therefore, it is important for Aleppo to have a civil administration that represents all its segments and communities. The formation of a governance structure and the international counterpart should be the Syrian Interim government. However, we are not yet articulating this issue prematurely. But this is what should be, I can say. The solution in Syria is a political solution, the Constitutional Committee. We mentioned Resolution 2254, but unfortunately, neither the hospital is accommodating, nor has the Constitutional Commission met since the year 2003, and the negotiations have not been held in Geneva since 2019. It is necessary to conduct negotiations and finally liberate the Syrian people from this predicament. Therefore, Syria is important to us. That is for us. For the Syrian opposition, the territorial integrity of Syria is important, and providing the constitutional rights to all components of the Syrian people is essential for a civil democracy. We are fighting for a democratic Syria. Of course, PED and other groups do not concern us. I mean, in a way, in some sense, you are departing from us in these areas we are managing, within Syria, within Turkey. In the region supported by Turkey, there are 6 million Syrians. So these people will also place a burden on us. In the areas governed by the Syrian Interim government, today in Turkey, there are 2,800,000 Syrians. More than 50% of them are displaced persons, forcibly displaced. Today there are 3 million Syrians in Turkey. They are from the Aleppo and Idlib areas. If we return them to their places, we can think about who will govern them later, in my opinion. Now, whoever holds the population here, that's what they want. I think we need to postpone some issues. This is what we'll demand when we sit at the table with the regime. The implementation of United Nations resolutions, especially number 2254, it is the implementation of the 2250 decision, meaning the establishment of a transitional government and the drafting of the Constitution, the elections under United Nations supervision, and then together to free Syria from this terrorism together, meaning that Syrians must fight against terrorism collectively. This is what it is. I mean, today al-Sadat has always portrayed the opposition as terrorists. And now, with these so-called terrorist forces, we need to be very careful. We must resolve this against al-Sadat as opposition. There is no need to say, let me be the hero and stand out. It won't work. I mean, this needs to be attributed to the legitimate opposition. Therefore, it must be ensured that Hessem doesn't misuse it, as has always been forgotten. I think we need to be cautious to prevent misuse. It is merely a military agreement to reduce conflict and tension. This also happened through Turkey's significant efforts. There are 3 parties to this, the guarantor countries, with Turkey as the guarantor of the Syrian opposition. The guarantors of the regime are Iran and Russia. Therefore, since 2019, all other guarantors have fully fulfilled their guarantor duties over Turkey. There has never been a violation. However, today, the Republic of Turkey stands before the Syrian people and itself, while the city, village, or hometown right in front of their eyes is occupied. The people, if they have the ability to leave, it's not possible to stop them. I'm currently the interim head of government. We are in an abnormal situation. We cannot claim to have complete control over everything. If the opposition can take Aleppo today, can you say you don't take it and stop them together? God, the international community, Russians, Riddlers, or Makiks, Riddler,
So you are in an abnormal situation, and people want to return to their homes now. You should have thought about this earlier. I mean, these people and all, in all of Mrs. Aslan's discussions, and after dozens of meetings with her, it was communicated to the Russians that these declarations were happening from our side and our guarantor country, Turkey. Can they stop Avsat? So now, after the opposition advances, let's bring every word into the Avsat format, sit seriously at the table, and be on the side of a political solution.